I'm Semily Sherry, and today I want to talk to you about the general tarot spread that I use to open readings for my clients. I do respect the Celtic cross spread, which I know is traditional and lots of people use it really successfully, but I just found I couldn't work with it very well, so I designed this spread for myself. Which I'll explain to you now. I generally lay the cards out in pairs because two cards will give me a bit more information and allow me to pinpoint more accurately the area of the client's life that we're looking at. So here we go. I will start. If the camera can pan down onto the cards, thank you very much. So we start with the past. So these two cards here represent the past. And I usually find that these cards can refer to events as recent as yesterday or sometimes even 30 years ago. But what I do find is whatever events are referred to in these cards for the past will inform and impact on the next two cards, which are the present. So these two cards, the next cards that I draw, then represent the present for the client. Okay. The next thing I look at, which might sound slightly odd, is what the client wants. So the next two cards that I lay down represent what the clients want. And I know that might sound strange, but so many people come to me for readings and they know that they're unsettled, things are changing in their lives, they don't feel quite comfortable, they're not happy, but they don't actually know why and they don't know what they want. So these two cards are very, very helpful. And finally, in this section of the reading, these cards I read separately, and the first one, this card here, will be what the client needs to do or focus on to be most helpful and to have the most positive impact on their future. So this card is what the client needs to focus on. And then almost as important is the card beneath it. This card will then tell the client what they need to avoid, what they need to avoid doing, and this is often more vital for the client than the what to do card, because so many people get into bad habits or bad thought patterns, and this card here will tell you what that is, what's going on for the client. So having done that first half of the spread sets the scene, tells you what the current situation is and looks at the current state of the client on all levels. And then what I do is I go to the predictive part of the reading, which looks at the future. Although I always say to clients, and you'll probably know this, the future is not set in stone. I completely believe that we are in charge of our own future. So the decisions we make create our future. So anything that I say is not set in stone, it can be changed. Okay? And what I do is I look at the next 12 months. I don't like to look any further ahead than that to start with. But I look at the next 12 months in blocks of 3 months. So literally I will pull two cards then. So the next part of the reading is the next two cards. And this looks at what's coming up for the client in the next 3 months. And then once we've explored that, we pull another two cards, which will have a look at what might be coming up in the next 3 to 6 months. And then the next two cards look at what might be coming up for the client in the next 6 to 9 months. And finally, the last two cards look at what might be coming up for the client in the next 9 to 12 months. So we cover a 12-month period then. And then of course, if you want to clarify anything that appears in here, you want some more information, just pull more cards and put them out to the side. That's what I do. And what I usually do is, having used this reading to give me a general overall picture, I like to then go on and reshuffle the cards and do lots of other spreads looking at specific areas, because what can I say? I'm a lots of cards girl. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this reading. Give it a try, see how you get on with it. And thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. Goodbye.